The woman was wiping her face in front of the mirror. Suddenly, she felt as if something was behind her. She turned around and saw a camera. Frightened, she tried to investigate but stepped on a trap. Her friends downstairs heard the noise and were delighted. It turned out they had planned a prank on her. Through the camera, they noticed that something seemed off with the woman. Laura got up and ran upstairs. She had just reached the top when a scare made her stop in her tracks. The woman who had triggered the trap lay motionless on the floor. Laura checked her and realized it seemed like she had stopped breathing. The two friends had only intended to prank her but never expected this outcome. Bella, behind Laura, was terrified. However, Laura remained unusually calm. She lifted the woman's body and headed downstairs. Not wanting to go to jail, the two carried her to the backyard. They dug a large hole to bury her. At that moment, they noticed the woman moved. Both of them were unsure of what to do. In the end, they carried her back to the room. Once back, the woman woke up but remembered nothing. Laura lied, claiming she had been in a car accident. Afterward, Laura quickly left. The woman touched the dirt on her body, and her memories gradually returned. She was shocked to realize she had almost been buried alive while visiting her friends. Angrily, she tried to leave and ran into her two friends. They tried to explain, but she didn't believe a word. Laura had no choice but to tie her to a chair to discuss a plan. By the next morning, they still hadn't come up with a solution. Suddenly, the tied-up woman heard sounds outside. She saw a figure at the window. Just as she tried to call for help, her friend covered her mouth. The other friend hurried over to close the curtains, preventing passers-by from noticing. They dragged the woman to the walk-in closet and taped her mouth shut. The two went to the living room and heard someone knocking on the door. Laura acted calm and went to open it. It was a maintenance worker asking if anything needed repair in the house. Meanwhile, the woman in the closet heard the noise. She tried desperately to call for help but couldn't make a sound. She looked up and noticed a box. Using her neck, she clamped a cloth and pulled down hard, knocking the box off the shelf. Outside, Bella had just turned on some music. The sound of the box hitting the floor was masked. The repairman didn't notice anything unusual and left. The woman, unable to call for help, was dragged back to the living room. Her friends realized she had tried to escape and yelled at her. After scolding her, they went outside to discuss their next move, trying to find a way to prevent her from calling the police. Shortly after they left, the woman retrieved a small knife she had hidden in the closet. She tried to cut the ropes, but her nervous hands dropped the knife. She had to find another way. She noticed the chair could be moved. Slowly, she edged it toward the door. At the door, she used her teeth to open it. Finally, she escaped. Seeing a step behind her, she came up with an idea. She fell backward with force. With a loud crash, the chair broke completely. The impact left her slightly dizzy, but she got up despite the pain and ran. She hadn't gotten far before her two friends spotted her.